Hi there.
Hi there, Vera. How are you?
Good. Good.
I'm Ted.
Hi, Ted.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
Thanks
too.
for doing this.
Oh, you're welcome. Welcome. Welcome, everybody.
I'm Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
I'm Carol.
Carol.
We've spoken.
We've spoken. Hi.
Carolee.
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 Carolee. Hi. Jordan. Nice to meet you, sir. Julia. Julia. Hi. Yeah, thanks for coming out. I moved here 21 years ago from Nassau County, Long Island. I came with my 3 children and our pets, and my husband was a teacher, and we came here to have country living and clean air and clean water. I'm one of the only voices in my township. There's 2 of us that speak up, and I videotape everything I can as a record because I don't want them to ever say they didn't know. I was born in Germany. I am not German. I'm a refugee. My parents were refugees from the war. I was born in 1951 in Hanover, and they have refugee camps outside of Hanover in Schulenburg, and they're all over Germany. There were thousands and thousands of people who were displaced from the war, and my family was that. My grandparents were in the camps. We were there about 7 years till they could let us immigrate, till we could be sponsored by an uncle who was here in Montana. And he sponsored us, and my grandparents came over, uncles, aunts, godparents, so we're Christian, and that's what I learned from them also. Keep meticulous records. I keep journals, photographs, videos, and we will see what will happen. The truth will prevail. So I say to them, you will not get away with what you're doing, because you will be found out. Every record is being kept here. We are keeping records. I'm in contact every week with the DEP. They know me. I call different inspectors that I know. I call them every single week. And I do right to know. I just did a right to know for the latest contamination in our county, which is not publicized, which doesn't even get on the DEP site to be told to the populace. So I have to go and talk to them, and then they tell me, they say, oh yeah, I said, what's the latest with Lennox? That's east of Dimmock, the latest with Cabot. And they said, yes, we've made a determination. I said, well, why didn't you tell us? When was the determination made? Like months. Gas migration from the gas sites, defective casings. Right to know just came in. That took weeks and weeks. I had to pull teeth to get it. We went, they said, do a file review. So I had people go to Williamsport. That's maybe 2.5 hours from here. Go do a file review for this file, Lennox contamination, right? They can't even find the determination letters. I said, where are the determination letters? You told me they're there. They're not in the file. So now I said, now I will do a right to know. So I did a right to know, and sure enough, they pop up. We can write, and you ask for what you want. So I asked, because I talked to the inspectors, I said, what do I ask for? Do you have to be so specific? Otherwise, they say, oh, we don't have it. So I got it from the inspector. He says, it's a number 208 determination letter. I said, good, I put that in. And I said, any kind of resolution, any kind of penalties. And they came back with it. And for 4 homes, explosive methane, they have to have vent stacks on their water wells. And you shall see that on some of the homes we're going to. Vent stacks, and some of them are receiving water, replacement water. I don't know if all 4 are. I have to still verify that. I have to ask for another right to know, are they receiving all of the water? I know at least 1. Thank God for right to know. Otherwise, I'm telling you, we are in the dark. They will only let little bits of information come out. So thank God for that. That's a big, big help. A whole bunch of us are doing it. And then the DEP guy says to me, you know, we spend so much time answering right to know, we can't even go out and inspect as much as we'd like. They don't have enough personnel. They don't have personnel just for right to know. They have the same guys that inspect do right to know.
We should probably travel pretty soon.
Yeah, you want to get my thing?
Okay, great.
Drilling for gas is a tough, complex, and technically dazzling process.
We're 9,731 feet deep.
Here, the target for the drill bit lies more than a mile below the surface. It's a very thin region of shale, the remains of an ancient seabed that once contained plants and other organic material, now turned into gas. But shale beds run horizontally, while normal well drilling is vertical. So to capture enough gas to make the process cost-effective, engineers devised a system to drill horizontally.
The Marcellus being 100 foot thick, then if you drill through it, you get 100 foot of pay zone. But with the horizontal wells, we're actually drilling into the Marcellus and drilling out close to a mile or sometimes more. By drilling out, we turned a 100-foot pay zone into a 5,000-foot pay zone.
Drilling a well requires several rings of pipe and cement to prevent cave-ins and, more importantly, to protect groundwater sources from contamination. Once the well is drilled and the casing cemented, it's time to release the trapped shale gas with a process called hydraulic fracturing, or fracking. First, explosive charges are placed in the horizontal sections of the pipe that blow neat holes in the pipe and create vertical fissures through the shale. Then water under enormous pressure is pumped down the pipe and into the fractured shale. The water contains sand, which helps prop open the fissures, and this allows the released gas to travel to the surface.
This poor person who built this beautiful house. Now they're coming in. This is sand trucks coming in from New York. There's a home right next over there. Homes right on either side of the property. It's a nice section here. Yeah, that's a sign for the name of the rig company. We have several rig companies. That's Patterson, and they'll put their signs up on the corner of, and at the site. They'll put them like on the roads for the trucks to know where to go. So you know that's the rig 332 that was here when they drilled.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the south. Oh yeah, that's the south. This is the south. This is on the site. Mick George. I called him up. He doesn't live next to this site. He lives about 20 minutes from here in the county. This is how many permits for. Horizontal, H. This is an area, Silver Lake Township, County. How much water is approved by the SRBC? And this is the phone numbers. This is contact information for the gas company. And they come from over an hour away to bring water. Besides, in our own township. Here comes sand truck coming out. That means they emptied out the sand already. This is all 24/7 while they're fracking. When they drill, 24/7. Inside of here is information.
You're allowed to just go in there?
You could, but it's all full of site plans, sedimentation plans, surveys, other information, permits. Look how full it is. But I've had.
Is that like the U.S. mailbox?
No, this is a mailbox just for like the inspectors, the people who come to take a look at things, you know. I want to encourage everybody to talk loud, just in case. Sand truck coming from, even though it says Woodland, Pennsylvania, I gotta find out about that. All the other ones I see, they're coming from New York. I gotta see if that's coming from New York. The amount. But we have a withdrawal site on the river, Susquehanna River, about 15 minutes east of here in Halstead. And then they have creeks that they're permitted. They have to have permits. This is all little berms. See, they have all these things here to supposedly, in case there's any spills, or heavy rains coming off of the site, bringing what kind of sedimentation, any kind of runoff. They're trying to keep it at bay as much as possible. But how much is that going to do? I mean, that's part of the sedimentation erosion plan. Now they have, not everybody uses security. WPX likes to use security. When you see those gates shut, they're full of signs of all kinds of warnings. You can look at the signs if you want. And they usually say they have cameras.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never seen a camera.
Right.
They're the only company that says that.
So
we have 5 companies, at least 5 gas companies in our county.
Mm-hmm.
That's Chulaya. That's that because really it's weird now.
It ends up going back into.
They're taking
charge.
pictures. Oh yeah, they love to take pictures of us.
They can take it out
take pictures
because
of
they're using it for.
You'll see the sites close. We will go to sites that are close to the road, and you'll see how they build them up, how they flatten them out. They have to put all kinds of gravel, rock, remove everything on the site, scrape it completely clean so they can use it and put their plastic on down. WPX has an office in Pennsylvania, but I believe they're a branch offshoot of Williams. About the trees, they have to cut down all the trees that on the site. It's a 3 to 5 acre site, and then they have to build up the site, lots of gravel and rock, and you'll get a chance to see some of that.
So when you execute
It's fine. I can keep driving. It's fine. Then you can talk to everybody in the back. It's better that way.
Finish with a site, it can be up to a year. Them are sites that I've seen. They have problems along the way. It's not always smooth sailing.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time it's done, it's a year later. So it's not like in and out, within a month everything's done. The impression they try to give us. And then the infrastructure, then they got to put in the pipe. Well, the site is worked for, let's say, up to a year until it's finally hooked into the pipeline. Then it starts to produce, and then they just do regular maintenance, like once a week. They read the meters, they do some kind of checking.
so really
And empty the brine tanks. I mean, they got brine tanks, 1 tank per well. They're large, we'll show you that. They have to be emptied out also, whether it's weekly. I haven't gotten a straight answer yet on that. Try and get information. Not the easiest thing. Yeah, the truckers use it. This road is used by the industry.
even 1 lane there?
Yeah, it's down to 1 lane. Yeah.
Can you believe this?
And this is PennDOT, and supposedly we have all this money. Where's the money? I said, where's the money for the roads?
And this is a year?
About a year, 10 months maybe. Look at this. And underneath here, you have to look under here. You'll see where the leaves are covering some of it, but there's it's caving in. So they put these blocks to cover it.
Maybe we should get out and tape that. What do you think?
Not right here.
Not right here, yeah. Good point.
Yeah, we're gonna get closer, but we're gonna be at this angle. We're gonna start nosing in. Some people say 2%. Almost. I haven't read it.
So what happened to his water?
Turned brown and thick, and he couldn't use it, couldn't drink it, and it clogged up his appliances, his hot water heater. Complained to the company. Laser was the pipeline company. And DEP, and then they brought in bottled water, then they gave him a filtering system, and then he took off for the Caribbean.
After putting in the pipeline.
That's
right?
just pipeline. Pipeline can affect water for people. Meanwhile, we're exposed.
Mm-hmm. What are they investigating here?
Gas migration, pollution of water wells, explosive methane, metals, heavy metals coming in, arsenic, aluminum, barium. There's several homes here. We're going to come to that. I'm trying to think how to do this because I was going to go show you that site too. We also have bubbling methane now in the creek since the spring. And I filmed that and I bring people to that. You can see the bubbles coming in, all the methane. We're trying to get that water tested. We're pushing for the health department. That's like asking for the moon. Can you check this company? Can you check that food place? That food place is already high arsenic above the MCLs. It's posted on the wall by the DEP. They're not allowed to use their water in food preparation. So they claim they're using bottled water. Here's our test results. approve it. But since they don't serve food, I can't press the point, but the ones that serve food, we press the point.
Oh, this is a restaurant?
No, this is a regular house, but they don't serve food, so they...
And the emission stacks are, that's a process, earlier in the process than when that separates the brine from the, what's the emissions from the process separating the brine from the gas? Or?
Yeah, those are heaters over there, production
the,
units, all different names, I call production unit, heaters. Now see, this one's quieter, right? No compressor on this site, compared to the other one.
You know, it's an SB.
But there is noise if you go right next to that stuff. You'll hear.
Now see, there's a house right on the other side of that.
Oh yeah, houses right next to them, they live right over. They put a sound barrier, that's the fence for sound
What
barrier.
did this look like before this?
What do you see there?
Meadow or maybe-
Middle maybe, trees.
And in between, it would have had a big drill rig and a mountain
That's like about the same thing, 4 million gallons per day, water consumptive use. You got brine tanks, 4 of them, 1 for each well. And production units. There's 4 production units, 1 for each well. And you have stacks, and they all emit gases and VTEXs. And then usually, you know, they always claim it's everything's within limits. And on top of the brine tanks, there's also valves and some kind of spots where they can emit also. And we had leaks here 2 months ago. This place has had 1 leak after another. It's under investigation for defective casing. And it's part of the investigation for the contamination of Route 29, Franklin Forks, where there's 3 homes with contaminated water and 4 homes with explosive levels of methane that have vent stacks on them. So this is one of the wells under investigation because of December 15th, 2011, 6:30 at night.
I wonder about the security around here. You could just walk right around here.
You could, yeah.
What about, you know, the Homeland Security in terms of just going over there and just opening up a few of those valves?
You could, I guess, yeah.
Right,
Hasn't
it just-
happened yet, but it
But,
could.
you know, in terms of hot work, kids coming in and just, to me, this
easily
is
get in
pretty,
there.
this is pretty, pretty, very vulnerable to, you know, whether it's vandalism
Right.
or it just seems really no security at all and no,
And this
no
is,
thoughts
and
about
we have
this?
hundreds of these in the county.
Hundreds?
Right now we have almost 1,000 wells. Now, how many sites? What would that be? Let's say 3 wells per site.
Did you say in the county?
In our county, we have 1,000, almost 1,000 wells, 900 and something, at this point. And we're only 25% developed.
How big is your county?
Oh, it's big. It's like
county
Nassau
is-
County. This is Susquehanna County. When I checked the square miles, it was as big as Nassau County, similar. And we only have 45,000 people compared to
Yeah.
like 1.8 million.
You're gonna have more you know, saying 100-foot foot distance. That's probably for OSHA or something. And they have requirements.
And if you look at whatever classifications under FERC or under PHMSA, we are Class 1 classification. Class 1 is the least regulated. We have low population, 10 houses or less per square mile. All the pipelines are Class 1. Compressor stations, Class 1. So that means that industry is basically self-regulating. Pipelines. Also, they use non-union besides union workers. And I've met a number of non-union pipe layers. They're learning on the job, the non-union, for welding and stuff. How much do I trust that welding? I don't feel secure. I met welders. I'm actually renting to one in our lake community. He came in from Michigan, 35-year-old young man, and he says he's a welder on the pipeline. I said, "Were you a welder before?" "No, I was a house painter." "Now you're doing welding for pipeline?" I don't feel secure. So they get cheap labor, go non-union, bring them in young people, and they pay them cheap, even though it's still more than they would get at another job. But compared to a real union welder, it's not even close what they make.
So why does it come above ground here?
That's so they can turn off the valves. They have to have the turn off. In case there's a leak, explosion, they have to shut off as much. The compressor stations, we had a compressor station, one of our biggest compressor station, which maybe we'll see, we'll get a chance to. 7 compressors, they exploded at the end of March. They had a leak, explosion, fire for 4.5 hours. Homes are all around there. The homes shook. Nobody got hurt, thankfully. The alarms went off when the leak started, so everybody ran out. And the whole front was burnt out. The roof was burnt out. They had to replace everything. They put new vents on top of the roof, which they didn't have before.
So this is a compressor?
That's a compressor station that we have. Yeah, we have compressor stations, which is a whole complex. They're building one right now, south in our county, about 15 minutes from here, on 54 acres, called the Central Williams Compressor. And it's a whole station. They take up a lot of area. They usually buy the land. They bought that land for $1 million. And they may just not farm, or they may sell the cows, but they stick around. You're talking, most of these people are multi-generational. They have very deep roots here. They're not going to just pick up and leave. I don't even want to pick up and leave, and I'm not even one generation. I'm 21 years. So these other people who have 5, 6, 7 generations, they're not leaving.
But they're not farming either.
Well, some are not farming, some still are. It depends. Some, it's a variety.
I saw some statistics to do the statistics on that of right away.
Oh, I see,
There's
okay.
temporary buffers for environment. They leave them there and let them.
Yeah, they're staying there.
So what does that have to do with any kind of natural remedy?
Wells on the side roads. You know, there's wells all over here. Now here comes a bunch of trucks, tankers, water tankers. I'm going to make a left here. See if I can meet them. But I always make my little left here. And I go back down. This is all fresh water, either empty or full.
What road is this?
Franklin Hill Road.
Hold on, wait a second here.
Okay, Franklin Hill Road repaired. This is compressor station. It's been operating already under free flow without the compressors. See that dehydrated brine tank in the back? And they have man camps here. There's housing for the men. See the housing?
Oh, that's man.
Yeah, those are the camps there.
They
for
live
the,
right on the well pad?
well, there could be offices and maybe they live in the pad. I don't know. I know on the drill sites they live right on the pad. They have several trailers, half a dozen trailers, and 30 guys live. This water gets filled, topped off every day. So sometimes when I'm here, you'll see a 1,000-gallon stainless steel truck come in, just special for water deliveries. A special company in our county called Parish. I don't know if that's a hello or goodbye. I don't know.
Wait, what is this here?
This is a water container for the house. They have contaminated water. It's under investigation. They're between 2 gas sites, which are under investigation for possible contamination of this area, which is low. This goes downhill from the gas sites. They have defective casings up there, defective casings back there. So this holds water. They get topped every day. Across the road is another one. They don't want to be photographed. He works for the gas industry. He drives truck, but we have a container there also. He's not home, from what I can see. There's no cars there, but there's his vent stack. You see the white stack there, vent stack?
That's on his well?
That's for his water well to vent out the explosive levels of methane. Go on and on. Now the men live on the site. They have trailers, half a dozen trailers. 30 men live on the site, 24/7 activity. Homes are all in here. See these homes? It's all behind. See how they built that up? It's all built up. It's almost like a pyramid or something. The ledge is there.
The site we went to took a year.
Took a year, and then the other site that was the first one that we went to took over until they finally finished it and hooked up was 2.5 years. So it depends what the activity, how fast they can go. If they have no problems, if everything's smooth, if there's no leaking casings, they have to be redone. Look at the pipeline down here. Look at that beauty. That's opened up, scraped land. Roads get all muddy. We have to deal with that. Look at that beauty over there. I believe this is a Cabot site. Too.
Yeah. It's a valley.
Ridiculous.
It's hard to get a good idea. Yeah, I think that's just a. Shut up now.
Oh, yeah. It's a piece of, just a piece of.
It either hasn't been installed or that's what it's going to be when they hook it all up.
Yeah.
That would be
Uh-huh.
seemed like it would be.
He already complained. He didn't complain to the gas company, but he complained to grandmother. I said, right, what's the problem? I can't take a picture of your horse? I said, your horse happened to be in the way.
Different millions. per
Yeah, this
gallon.
one's different, 3.5, a little less, yeah.
I wonder why they determined that.
I don't know. They got less for some reason. Maybe they had,
Maybe
they
because
didn't
of
beg
the-
enough. They didn't beg as hard as the other
It could be the
ones.
contour because they're way up on the hill like that. But that terrace,
Do they care? They don't care. I can show you sites. I went already. They're rusting on the ground, the brine tanks, leaking, and it's all operational. They don't care. What do they care? Unless you stink and scream. Yeah. On that 3-hour video, that's hidden in the woods. Leaking. Leaking tanks. And I'm contacting the DEP on that one, but I wrote to them already. 4 years of litigation. They have since fled. They're now in your lovely state, in Tioga County.
Oh my God.
So no one's living here now?
Nobody's living here. They took away the water buffalo. They took away this vent stack. The well is there. Like I know
Yeah, I
where
see
it
the
is.
well, sure.
You see it?
Yeah.
That's where the stack was. And of course, you know,
How do you know what the settlement